So, Victor Wembanyama, one of the best young players in the NBA over the last number of years. And it is mad to hear what he has said now about the NBA players, obviously, that he looked up to. The NBA players that were his idols. And also, Victor Wembanyama might be just some basketball robot. Like, we need to just make sure the guy's human. I think that's a really important thing, is that we just confirm whether or not he is a human being. I think that is an important thing we need to know coming into the new season, because this is what he has said. He says here, he used to like and idolize some NBA stars until he realized they don't put in the right work that he can respect. In a good way. Some of them are really impressive and inspiring in the way they approach the game every night. But others that I used to like, now it's like I'm just not sure they deserve it. Like, they don't seem like they put in as much work as I thought. He also mentioned that those players aren't Kevin Durant or Rudy Gobert. And that's the thing, was like, and Rudy Gobert is just, we can't, it shouldn't be expected a 7-footer can, like, shoot the ball or anything. But Rudy Gobert, in fairness, he just needs to make sure it's not, I can't believe the two of them just couldn't play with each other in the Olympics. That was a mad thing. But it is funny, though, because you're seeing the players, obviously, that he's been around. A lot of these players, I think that some of the players in the NBA maybe don't put in the right amount of work. I think they all have had to, you have to put in a really serious amount of work to get to this point in your career. Like, you don't just make the NBA if you don't work hard. Or, sorry, you don't stay in the NBA if you don't work hard. Like, I think that you can make the NBA. I don't think you can stay there. Because what I'm saying is, like, the players that don't work are out of the league quick. And the players that do work a lot of the time stay. Because there's only so many superstars. And you've never heard of a not hardworking role player. Ever. And as far as superstars, either, like, even the ones that maybe don't look like they're putting in the most work, they probably have put in that work so far in their lifetimes. Like, even like the guys like Luka Doncic and Nikola Jokic. Whatever about Luka, I think the game might just come easier to Luka. Like, Luka might be one of the, realistically, Luka might be one of the dudes he's talking about. Let's be honest, Luka might be one of those dudes. But everyone, when they're talking about Nikola Jokic, they were like, when he's like around basketball, when he's like around the team, they're like, he's the first to come in, last to leave. He works harder than everybody else. But it's like, during his off season, he doesn't look at basketball. And I have no issue with that, by the way. Like, if we look at players, people are talking about, the players from like back in the day were so much tougher. It was a Jerry West that used to say, like, until coming into the season, he didn't look at the ball. Like, over the summer, he just switched off and was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not playing basketball. And I think we're a lot of those older players in the offseason didn't play AAU. They played other sports. Like, but pre-AAU culture, people playing basketball 365 days a year probably wasn't even a thing. For Victor Wembanyama, the man's just a robot. Like, I'm not entirely sure he is human. So to be at his work rate, you probably have to be a LeBron James type player. I think there are very few players, and especially young players, that work like Wemby does. So I would say also he's probably not too impressed with the likes of Anthony Edwards and stuff. And the thing is with those players is they do eventually, like, a lot of them do eventually figure it out. Like, LeBron James did not come into the league with this type of care for his body. Dwayne Wade, like, I didn't remember when I was like 16, I did like an entire project about how Dwayne Wade later on in his career had to like completely change his diet and a lot of stuff like that. Like, he had one of the worst diets in the NBA up to a point. And then there's the likes of like a Darren Williams who doesn't change up, and it just kind of kills their career as time goes on. Like, when you're a younger player, you can have maybe not the greatest strength and conditioning programs. You can maybe not have the greatest diet, and you can still get away with it. And as you get older, obviously you have to be a lot more strict. And I think that's one of the things with Victor Wembanyama is probably seeing. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, Jason Tatum's one of them. Man, Jason Tatum, he just developed a hitch in his jump shot. The ball still goes in. He just developed some sort of minor yips, but it doesn't seem to affect his jump shot. But a load of NBA players. And I think the problem with NBA players coaching is that every shooting coach wants the players to release it with a higher release point. And as players are trying to release the ball at a higher release point, you're seeing a lot more movement. Like Mikal Bridges used to have a really quick release. Kyle Anderson used to have not a quick release, but he used to have a normal looking jump shot. But it's all players trying to release the ball from higher above their head. Like, it's a really American. Releasing the ball from high above your head for guards is a really American thing. To be fair, actually, I was about to say, it's like a lot of Lithuanians have hitches. So I'm like, it depends, really. It depends on where you're taught to shoot, to be honest. It's probably not even a country thing. But to be fair, fixing jump shots that aren't broken is more so an American coaching thing. But yeah, Wemby is a basketball robot. That is pretty much all we're going to be talking about in this video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.